Microsoft Corporation is an American multinational corporation headquartered in Redmond, Washington, that develops, manufactures, licenses, supports, and sells computer software, consumer electronics, and personal computers and services. Microsoft Business Intelligence and Data Mining portfolio includes MS Office Excel, SQL Server, and SharePoint. MS Office Excel empowers users to discover, analyze, and visualize data with powerful self-service. SharePoint enables collaboration and sharing of reports and data in a managed and secure environment. Capabilities: self-service. Excel provides new self-service capabilities and empowers users with data discovery, analysis, and visual exploration. Dashboards. SharePoint Server provides a full set of rich dashboard and scorecard capabilities, including advanced filtering, guided navigation, interactive analytics, and visualizations. Reporting. SQL Server Reporting Services is a comprehensive, highly scalable solution providing operational reporting for pixel-perfect printing and browser-based viewing, as well as ad hoc data exploration and visualization. Analysis. SQL Server Analysis Services empower you to build comprehensive enterprise-scale analytics solutions that leverage in-memory technology and provide interactive exploration of aggregated data. As we know, data mining and business intelligence provides new insights, form a reliable basis for accurate forecasting, and helps companies make better decisions. In such a scenario, is it possible for any company or organization to work without data mining and business intelligence facilities? Hello all, and welcome to this lecture on data mining and business intelligence, where we will understand how data mining and business intelligence empowers users to discover, analyze, and visualize data and sharing of reports in a managed and secure environment. After the lecture, we will be able to learn the following objectives. Understand the concept of data mining. Explain the business intelligence or BI process. Describe data warehousing. Explain data mining tools, methods, and techniques. Define the BI and data mining applications. Let's start with a brief introduction to data mining and business intelligence. Business intelligence data mining is a process of using sophisticated equipment to locate and extract relevant business information from a larger body of data. The term is also sometimes associated with the retrieval of data that is stored in a damaged device, such as on a server or computer hard drive that is crashed. This form of data mining seeks to access necessary data that relates to the history and current standing of a business enterprise, and allows that data to be arranged in a logical fashion. Let's discuss the concept of data mining. Data mining, the extraction of hidden predictive information from large databases, is a powerful new technology with great potential to help companies focus on the most important information in their data warehouses. Data mining tools predict future trends and behaviors, allowing businesses to make proactive, knowledge-driven decisions. Data mining tools can answer business questions that traditionally were too time-consuming to resolve. They scour databases for hidden patterns, finding predictive information that experts may miss because it lies outside their expectations. Data mining parameters include association, looking for patterns where one event is connected to another event. Sequence or path analysis, looking for patterns where one event leads to another event. Classification, looking for new patterns. This may result in a change in the way the data is organized, but that's okay. Clustering. Finding and visually documenting groups of facts not previously known. Forecasting. Discovering patterns in data that can lead to reasonable predictions about the future. Text mining. Text mining is the process of using computer technology to sift through text documents for the purposes of research and analysis. It is often considered very similar to the process known as data mining, but it relies on special programming to look in uncategorized text and find meaning or patterns instead of analyzing pre-categorized database information. Text mining has many applications in areas such as science, marketing, and data organization. Web mining. Web mining is a form of information harvesting that applies to data gathered from online sources. Data collection from sources across the internet allows users to aggregate large volumes of information for analysis to make key business decisions in an online environment. For example, a researcher might use web mining to collect information regarding the use of specific keywords in web content. Spatial mining. Spatial data mining is the process of trying to find patterns in geographic data. Most commonly used in retail, it has grown out of the field of data mining, which initially focused on finding patterns in textual and numerical electronic information. Spatial data mining is considered a more complicated challenge than traditional mining because of the difficulties associated with analyzing objects with concrete existences in space and time. Process mining. Process mining is a technique in which business processes are extracted from information system event logs and then analyzed. It's a business process management practice employed for the purpose of discovering new processes, comparing the existing process with the workflow model, and improving the process. Let's now talk about the business intelligence process, or BI. Business intelligence refers to a computer-based set of processes that business owners and managers use to capture and analyze data related to their companies. A business intelligence model comprises the specific applications that help to transform raw business data into understandable and relevant information in order to support business decisions relating to operational improvements or selecting new business opportunities.
I've been in the business intelligence space for over 10 years now, but I still find it hard to carry small talk with the average Joe about what exactly I do for work. So for all the Joes out there that really want to know what business intelligence is, you've found the right video. First, I want you to imagine that you went to your favorite store to buy some stinky cheese. When you pay for your cheese and walk out, you may or may not know that your favorite store has gathered some new data about the stinky cheese you bought, at what time you bought it, and how much you bought it for. Now I want you to put yourself in the shoes of the director of stinky cheese supply for your favorite store. Day in and day out, he has to figure out how many blocks of stinky cheese he should be ordering. The only possible way for him to make an educated guess about this is if he knows how many are being purchased by customers. Now, as the data sits today, the director of stinky cheese would have to look at every single transaction made throughout each day to see how much stinky cheese was purchased. But this takes up way too much time, and since this is a decision that the director of stinky cheese has to make every week, he decides to use a business intelligence tool to provide that information. The use of a business intelligence tool allows the information to be regularly rolled up and formatted just right so that the director can make a much more educated decision about how much stinky cheese to purchase. Additionally, now that the director has more time on his hands, he can analyze in much further detail. So basically, you can think of business intelligence as the process of going from raw data to legible information. Now consider how broad the business intelligence space is. For example, have you ever received a receipt from an ATM machine that provides you the current balance of your bank account? Or perhaps have you ever received a detailed bill in the mail? These are all forms of business intelligence, or BI.
Private and public intelligence. These partnerships occur through formal agreements between major corporations and government-backed organizations, such as law enforcement, the military, or research institutions. The agreements usually involve sharing of intelligence between the government and corporate representatives, as well as participation in threat reporting programs and security exercises. The intelligence community and the private sector. The IC maintains relationships with private corporations to help meet national security goals. Reasons for this partnership include technical strengths, manpower and managerial expertise, protection, translation, IT skills, consultation. Technical strengths. Private firms with specialized technical capabilities can be used to address national security issues. Manpower and managerial expertise. Employees of private firms often have cultural, military, or linguistic backgrounds that are useful to the U.S. government. Protection. Private firms guard buildings, personnel, and U.S. infrastructure in diplomatic and military facilities throughout the world. Translation. Contractors often serve as interpreters in U.S. detention facilities abroad. IT skills. Private firms help with interagency coordination by providing collaboration tools across agencies, and they provide security tools for government computer systems. Consultation. Private companies provide strategy consulting services on various topics to the IC. Strategic assessment of implementing BI. Business intelligence technology gives business users the ability to track, understand, and manage information within an organization. BI is taking on an increasingly strategic role as more organizations look for ways to tap into the valuable data stored in their operational systems. The value of business intelligence. Business intelligence is fast becoming a strategic differentiator for today's leading organizations. BI has evolved during the past 3 years from a niche, departmentally focused solution to a strategic enterprise asset. Data warehousing combines data from multiple, usually varied sources into one comprehensive and easily manipulated database. Different methods can then be used by a company or organization to access this data for a wide range of purposes. Accessing data through warehousing. Common methods for accessing systems of data warehousing include queries, reporting, and analysis. Uses for data warehouses. Companies commonly use data warehousing to analyze trends over time. They might use it to view day-to-day operations, but its primary function is often strategic planning based on long-term data overviews. Limitations on warehousing. Data warehousing is not always the best method for storing all of a company's data. Companies often use it to house the necessary information for specific analysis. Smaller solutions for data storage. While larger companies typically use data warehousing to analyze big sets of information for enterprise purposes, smaller companies wishing to review just one subject often utilize data marts. Data warehouse. A data warehouse is a relational database that is designed for query and analysis rather than for transaction processing. Development of a data warehouse includes development of systems to extract data from operating systems, plus installation of a warehouse database system that provides managers flexible access to the data. This is due to several factors. Most of the data is stored in ADABAS, ADABAS, which is difficult for end users to access. The data stores were designed for transaction processing, not ad hoc reporting. Obtaining the data or a report usually requires waiting for a programmer to either develop the report or provide a customized download program. All of the data may not be consistent at the same point in time. There may not be enough copies of the data kept for historical reporting in the operational systems. Characteristics and view. A data warehouse is a subject-oriented, integrated, time-variant, and non-volatile collection of data in support of management's decision-making process. The characteristics are subject-oriented, integrated, non-volatile, time-variant. Subject-oriented. Data warehouses are designed to help one analyze data. Integrated. Integration is closely related to subject orientation. Data warehouses must put data from disparate sources into a consistent format. Non-volatile. Non-volatile means that once entered into the warehouse, data should not change. This is logical because the purpose of a warehouse is to enable one to analyze what has occurred. Once data is in the data warehouse, it will not change. Time variant. In order to discover trends in business, analysts need large amounts of data. This is very much in contrast to online transaction processing, or OLTP systems, where performance requirements demand that historical data be moved to an archive. OLTP and OLAP. Online transaction processing is a collective term used to describe a classification of systems that process each step of a transaction in an online environment. Online transaction processing is a collective term used to describe a classification of systems that process each step of a transaction in an online environment. OLTP as being related to the processing of financial transactions in an online environment. The term can be applied to other types of transactions as well. Producers of OLAP software are familiar, including Oracle, IBM, and Hyperion Solutions. Oracle, which has a reputation for being different, refers to OLAP software as business intelligence. IBM and Hyperion Solutions, wishing to remain consistent with industry standards, call their software OLAP. Now let's talk about data mining tools, methods, and techniques. Data mining tools are software components and theories that allow users to abstract information from data. The tools provide individuals and companies with the ability to gather large amounts of data and use it to make determinations about a particular user or groups of users. Some of the most common uses of data mining tools are in the fields of marketing, fraud protections, and surveillance. Regression and correlation. Regression analysis involves identifying the relationship between a dependent variable and one or more independent variables. A model of the relationship is hypothesized and estimates the parameter values are used to develop an estimated regression equation. Decision trees. Decision trees are used in many disciplines, from science and mathematics to the legal and business professions, to help determine the best course of action both at the start and all along the path of discovery. Available in computer programs, employing complex statistical algorithms or just scribbled on a sheet of paper, these models have formed the early planning of many discoveries and decisions. Decision tree analysis. A decision tree analysis is a method used by businesses for making decisions by utilizing a chart that shows all of the possible outcomes that can arise from one original decision. As the original decision leads to other decisions, The chart adds branches for all of the new possibilities. Market basket analysis. Market basket analysis consists of using data mining techniques to analyze customer shopping data to find patterns and relationships among purchased products. This information may help a retailer design on-site or e-commerce shopping spaces. It may also be used to develop marketing campaigns. The evaluation can be expensive, so it may need to be used for only popular items. Support vector machine. Support vector machines, SVM, are based on the concept of decision planes that define decision boundaries. A decision plane is one that separates between a set of objects having different class memberships. SVM models can be classified into 4 distinct groups. Classification SVM Type 1, also known as C SVM classification. Classification SVM Type 2, also known as NU SVM classification. Regression SVM Type 1, also known as Epsilon SVM regression. Regression SVM Type 2, also known as NU SVM regression. Now let's explore BI and data mining applications. Data mining, which is a type of artificial intelligence, has been used primarily to analyze scientific and business data for patterns or trends. Data basically comprises raw statistics or facts that are collected through measurement or research in order to be analyzed. Examples include sale totals, names, places, and phone numbers. Helps to improve decision making. Data mining uses predictive techniques to reveal patterns in the data. These patterns have a vital role in the process of decision making, since they expose the areas where improvements can be made in the process. Techniques. Regression. This is the most widely known and the oldest statistical technique that is utilized by the data mining community. Classification. If one needs to work with categorical data or a combination of categorical and continuous numeric classification analysis will meet requirements. Applications in various sectors. When one has a large amount of information at hand and one needs to find something in particular, what options does one have? Either one reads through all the information that is available and finds what one is looking for, or else one looks out for ways to sort through what one wants. Vital information. Basically, data mining is all about processing information and recognizing patterns of the same, which we intend to seek from the vast sea of knowledge. Techniques. As mentioned, a number of techniques are used for the sorting purpose. They are prediction, decision trees, long-term processing, combinations, sequential patterns, classification, clustering, association advantages, efficient decision-making, detection of fraud, market research and analysis, predicting future trends, increasing overall revenue. Applications. Financial institutions. This technology is very useful for the various financial institutions, such as banks and credit companies. Science. In this field, this sorting method helps in the various research projects. Law. Law enforcement is helped by this technique by monitoring the behavior patterns of the criminals, which makes it easier for the criminals to be caught. Retailing. Data mining applications are computer software programs or packages that enable the extraction and identification of patterns from stored data. This type of tool is typically a software interface which interacts with a large database containing customer or other important data. CRM. Being able to ensure good customer relationship management is one of the several benefits of this technology. It helps the business people to find out which type of customers to approach with what sort of products. Data transmission facilities and processes. Data transmission refers to computer-mediated communication among system users and also with other systems. The basic functions of using online information systems are entering data into a computer, displaying data from a computer, controlling the sequence of input-output transactions with guidance for users throughout the process. Now in the end, let us summarize what we have learned in this lecture. Business intelligence data mining is a process of using sophisticated equipment to locate and extract relevant business information from a larger body of data. Data mining, the extraction of hidden predictive information from large databases, is a powerful new technology with great potential to help companies focus on the most important information in their data warehouses. Text mining is the process of using computer technology to sift through text documents for the purposes of research and analysis. Spatial data mining is the process of trying to find patterns in geographic data. Most commonly used in retail, it has grown out of the field of data mining, which initially focused on finding patterns in textual and numerical electronic information. Process mining is a technique in which business processes are extracted from information system event logs and then analyzed.